Before we move on to the demographic problems facing Poland, to begin with, a little history. After the collapse of the Soviet Union in 1989, Poland was a country with an extremely difficult economic situation compared to other Central and Eastern European countries that soon joined the European Union. At the time, Poland was at a similar level of development to Ukraine. It was a difficult period with many challenges and constraints. However, the economic and social transformation that Poland underwent in the 1990s was a remarkable success. Poland became an example of the fastest-growing economy among all former Eastern Bloc countries in the period following the collapse of socialism in 1989. What became known as the Polish economic miracle was the result of extraordinary reforms that transformed the Polish economy from an unwieldy central planning model to a more open and capitalist system modeled on Western countries. It is worth noting that one of the milestones of this market transformation was the Wilczek Law. This reform paved the way for the liberalization of the economy and the promotion of entrepreneurship, which contributed to rapid economic growth. Almost 3 decades of dynamic development allowed Poland to overtake other countries in the region, such as Bulgaria, Romania, Croatia, Latvia, and Hungary. Poland has also significantly narrowed the gap with regional leaders, such as the Czech Republic and Slovenia, in terms of GDP per capita. At the same time, this was the most important period in Poland's history, when the country significantly narrowed the gap with the most developed countries in the West. In 1989, for example, Poland's GDP per capita was only about 25% of that of the United States. Today, this figure is around 50% of the level of GDP per capita in the US. The demographic situation in Poland has raised serious concerns in recent years and poses a challenge for the country's future. According to the Central Statistical Office, the results of the 2021 census paint a sad picture for Poland. Over the past decade, the population has fallen by 470,000, with as many as 141,000 fewer people in 2022 alone, and the population has aged by an average of 4 years. Already, 1 in 5 Poles is over 60, indicating a clear trend towards an aging population. Unfortunately, the demographic projections are not optimistic. It is predicted that by 2060, 1 in 2 Poles will be over 50, and the country's population will shrink by an impressive 6.8 million people. This means that Poland is facing a serious demographic crisis, which could have serious consequences for various areas of social life. One of the most visible consequences of the current demographic situation is the decline in the birth rate. In 2022, the lowest number of live births in Poland's post-war history was only 305,000. This is a worrying trend that could lead to an imbalance between the number of people of working age and those of retirement age. The effects of this demographic crisis could be felt in many areas. For example, a decline in the working age population could lead to labor shortages, which in turn could affect the labor market and the economy as a whole. In addition, increasing life expectancy and a lack of generational replacement could adversely affect pension, health, and social security systems, creating additional challenges for the state. It is worth noting that Poland's population loss is partly due to a decline in the birth rate and partly to migration processes that are reversing to Poland's disadvantage. For many years, Poland has benefited from an influx of immigrants, particularly from Ukraine, to offset the difficulties associated with demographic problems. It is estimated that from 2014 to date, around 2 million immigrants have come to Poland for work purposes. However, this trend is now beginning to reverse as Ukrainians are starting to choose Western European countries. The increase in the number of emigrants from Ukraine to Western Europe, the UK and Canada, is noticeable. Many more Ukrainians are now choosing other countries as their destination, using Poland as a transit point for further travel to Western Europe. According to an analysis by Crédit Agricole, the value of additional demand generated by Ukrainian immigrants in Poland in 2022 could be as much as over $4 billion. However, current statements from Ukrainian workers suggest that 54% of them plan to go to a country other than Poland. Germany and Canada are popular destinations. In fact, there were more than 1.1 million Ukrainians in Germany in August last year. The role of Ukrainians in the Polish economy has been significant. A study by the Warsaw School of Economics and the National Bank of Poland shows that the work of Ukrainian immigrants added an extra 0.5 percentage points per year to the Polish economy. During the period of the highest influx of immigrants, i.e. 2016-2017, economic growth in Poland increased by up to 0.7 percentage points per year thanks to immigration. Overall, Ukrainians contributed as much as 13% to Poland's economic growth between 2013 and 2018. Credit Agricole's calculations show that without the presence of Ukrainians, national GDP dynamics would be 0.5 percentage points lower in 2022. It should also be noted that Ukrainian immigrants are an important element in the labor market, where labor shortages and record labor demand have been a long-term challenge for employers. However, the declining number of Ukrainian workers may soon become a challenge for many companies. Therefore, maintaining Poland's attractiveness as a place to work and live for immigrants may become a key element for the Polish economy in the context of demographic difficulties and population migration. How will demographic problems affect the Polish economy? The demographic problems facing Poland appear to be inevitable and have the potential to have a significant impact on the Polish economy and society. One of the key aspects of these problems is the projected decline in the working-age population over the coming years. By the end of 2040, Poland's working-age population will have started to decline, and the rate of decline is expected to accelerate, especially after 2035. This means fewer and fewer people of working age, which could have serious economic consequences. Eurostat's latest demographic projections also predict that Poland's total population will fall from 37.6 million in 2022 to just 29.5 million in 2100. Poland is one of the fastest declining countries in the European Union. This phenomenon is worrying, as a shrinking population affects many areas of social and economic life. Currently, Poland is a younger society compared to Germany or France, but the fertility rate in Poland is significantly lower, suggesting that this could change rapidly. In an aging society, priorities change. Resources that could have gone into development have to be shifted to maintaining benefits, including pensions. This has an impact on the Social Security Fund, which will require further subsidies from the state budget. According to a projection by the Social Security Office, there will be a shortfall of up to 300 billion Polish zlotys, or about $72 billion, for pensions by 2027. In order to finance this shortfall, taxes will have to be increased, which in turn will mean a greater burden on young people entering the labor market. An aging and shrinking population will challenge Poland's economy, budget, and welfare system. A shrinking working-age population means a lower productive potential of the economy and may lead to a decrease in the rate of economic growth. In addition, a smaller population means higher public debt servicing costs, as fewer people will be paying interest on the debt, which could pose a challenge to public debt servicing. Poland may also face depopulation in some regions, as has happened in Japan and Italy. This could lead to a decline in property values and reduced access to services, including healthcare. With a shortage of healthcare workers, we can expect weaker medical services and huge queues for specialists. Overall, Poland faces a difficult decade if current demographic trends are not reversed. However, it is important to remember that economic development, innovation, and improved quality of life will not be possible without young families as a source of human capital. It is therefore necessary to take measures to increase fertility rates and support families in order to minimize the negative impact of demographic problems on the economy and society. This will be extremely difficult. Thank you for watching the video. Leave a comment and subscribe to the channel. See you next video.